Hello everybody! I know it's been a while, it's been about a year since I made a video, but I promise I'm not dead. So, pretty much, um, to get the elephant out of the room, in the room out of the way, I had to take care of some real life stuff, and I wasn't able to make videos for a while, but I'm here, so back by popular demand, since about close to 6,000 of you guys viewed my tutorial video, I am going to make a 2.0, which is what this is, since a lot of things have changed. And essentially, when I was trying to join the furry community on Second Life, I didn't have a clue what I was doing. I was lucky to meet some very kind and caring people along the way that kind of pointed out what I needed and how to do certain things, but to pretty much everyone else who doesn't have that or doesn't know how to find that, this video is for you. So essentially, get a couple of things out of the way. There are a couple of things that you're going to need to do before we can even start to mod. One, you need a spot where you can res. Seems like a no-brainer, but pretty much, especially if you're new, find a sandbox. If you have a place of work and that you have tags to res things at, go there. If you have a residence on Second Life, go there. You just need a spot to res. It doesn't even have to look pretty. It can be one of those Linden homes that nobody really likes. Make sure you have a spot to res or access to res on land. You're going to need to be able to res ears, Peets, and tails. In my experience, those are the three items that you res the most to make mods. The second thing you're going to need is to make sure that you have a body that supports your mod. The bodies, to my knowledge, that support them are Legacy, Maitreya, Cupra, E-Body, Beleza, Hourglass, and pretty much any body that you can go and get skins for in like most of the normal events like Abnormality and access and stuff like that. If you can shop at those stores, you have the kind of body that you should be able to use with mods. That's also being said, make sure that you bought the mod that correlates with your body. And so with that being said, those are the two major things. So with that being said, we are going to get started. The mod today that I am going to use to demonstrate how to do this with is made by Whisk. It is the Red Fox Blueberry mod. I love Whisk. She has great stuff. I own almost everything in her store. Her mods are inexpensive. They are able to be customized with a lot of different parts to get a lot of different looks. She's one of the easiest creators that you can basically, whose stuff you can use. And she also tends to be really inexpensive too. At least with the mod that I am going to be using today, if you are on a budget, it comes with its own ears and tail. So essentially all you need is a head and a body. So that is the mod that we are going to be using today. The parts that I am going to be demonstrating with today are going to be the Apricot Paws, the Maitreya Body, the Vixen Tail, and the Canis head by Cerberus. So with that being said, let's get started. Okay, so first things first, one of the first things that I do ever is I unpack a completely different body for every single mod that I have. It helps keep things in line, it helps me not destroy a look that I already love and adore, and it also helps me stay organized. So with that being said, we're just going to start like you bought all the stuff and you unpacked it all and it is sitting in your inventory. It looks something like this. We'll touch on that one later. So, one of the first things you are going to do is you are going to go all the way up to Avatar. And you are going to go to choose an avatar. I normally use her because she is the easiest person to take stuff off of. I use her. Even when I'm making a male avatar, I use her. So, I click on her. I'm in my T-pose. Go back to T-pose. And essentially, pretty much, I'm getting blown up. I'm going to go into unavailable mode. I am going to minimize that, get rid of that. You are going to go to your appearance window. There are two basically different ways that you can access appearance. You can either, if you are able to, if you have the t-shirt icon out, and you just click it and it's right there. If you do not, go all the way down to now wearing, and the same thing happens. You are going to take off everything that you possibly can. So you are going to take off the shoes, the system eyelash remover, the jacket, the heels, the dress. Everything except for the Firestorm LSL bridge is going to come off. So the animation overrider is going to come off. The chihuahua, the hair, the heels, the lashes, the red pencil dress, the tablet is going to come off. That is my collar. I will talk about our LV at another time. And because I don't feel like flashing YouTube, we are just going to go ahead and go into my body and put on the bra and the panties. So essentially though, when you start this, you are going to be naked. So you are going to be naked and gross because it is a system body. So you're going to do that. Then you're going to open up your body folder. Now, the two bodies that I am most familiar with are Maitreya and Legacy. So with Maitreya, essentially you are going to find your body and you are going to click it. Now, for the purposes of this tutorial, we are going to be using baked on mesh. I will at a later date do appliers, but I'm going to forewarn you, I hate appliers. I hate dealing with the Omega systems. They aggravate the crap out of me. I do not like them at all. I find baked on mesh to actually be a lot easier to deal with. So with that being said, for this tutorial, we are going to be using baked on mesh. You are going to click on your body. You are going to click on your HUD. And then once your HUD loads up, your body is going to look like this. You're going to see two bodies, two sets of hands, two sets of feet, two sets of shoulders, whatever. Your avatar is going to look messed up, but it's temporary, I promise. Essentially what you're going to do is especially with Maitreya, the first thing you are going to see when you load the HUD up is it's going to look like this. It's going to look like this. You've got an alpha HUD, a layers HUD, a skin base HUD, and a hands and feet HUD, and a miscellaneous HUD. You are going to stay in your skin base HUD. You are going to go all the way down this black button right here, and you are going to click Baked on Mesh. Ta-da! Then you are going to go to your alpha, and you are just going to go ahead and preemptively alpha out your feet, because work smarter, not harder, right? So you're going to be footless for a hot minute. And that would be my phone. I apologize for that. So essentially, pretty much, you're going to alpha out your feet. And basically, you are then going to go to hands and feet. I don't like handy paws. I think they're weird. I just think that they look funny. I don't like them. So I tend to use the hands on whatever body I'm using. So for my personal preference with Maitreya, I change the nails to extremely pointy and I change their color to black. Also, when I was human, I bought a ton of nails and I just refused to get rid of them. I like being able to use my stuff. So essentially, once you're done with all of that, you are going to then work on your Feety Peets. And this is the part where, again, resing is very, very important. I'm going to emphasize this right now too. Apricot Paws do not come with this mod. I tend to layer all of the things that I use for a mod into the same folder. So do not mistake this as basically, oh, I didn't get my Apricot Feety Peets. Well, you got to go buy them from the store. So essentially, pretty much, pretty much what you're going to do is you are going to res them out. These are already baked on mesh. I want to show you how to do that. So we're going to now res out a new pair. And we are going to do this because this is fun. So you've got this going on. When you res them on the ground, you're going to see the markings. You're going to see the Peets. You're going to see the pads. You're going to see everything. And then essentially what you are going to do is you are going to start pretty much customizing these to suit your mod. Now, normally what I do is what I do is very, very simple with these. Very simple. I change the claws to black. I make sure they are long. I enable baked on mesh. I take the markings off. I put my ankle lock on and that will pop up. Don't forget about it. I dye the bottoms of the Feety Peets white. You have to tint them white because textures otherwise do not work. And then once you're done doing that, detach the HUD, detach those. Okay? Okay. And so I don't get confused, we are doing this. So they're supposed to look like that. Bring them down. And we are going to basically pretty much then add textures to the bottom of these. So essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to see what color that is. That is a little too light for me. We are going to do that. Okay, yeah. These are going to be blue. Yeah, at this point, I'm just playing around with the textures. Yeah, we're going to use this one. Then we're going to be done. Take. then hmm. Hmm. That is strange, Second Life. Why are you doing this? Okay, so essentially we are testing a theory right now as to how to fix this problem. Because I've never had that happen to me before. Sometimes when you're modding, stuff like this will happen. And you just gotta figure it out. Luckily, I've run into this problem before, and I'm hoping that this fixes it. So let's see if this actually fixes our problem. Take. Add. Oh, well, I'll be darned, it fixed it. It fixed it. Thank you guys for being patient if you've stuck around this long. So yeah, if this problem happens to you, if it looks like your Peets or whatever have vanished after you apply a texture, simply try clicking on it and try clicking on it and taking, because what has happened is it's probably gone into alpha blending, and try moving it to alpha masking. Try playing around with the alpha mode to see if that works. So essentially that worked. And so now you have your Peets on and everything is Gucci and everything is fine. So now we get to do the fun part. Now we get to start messing around with the head. So essentially what you're going to do is you are going to res your ears on the ground. Just going to go ahead and preemptively do that. Work smarter, not harder, right? Okay. So essentially you're going to go ahead and res your ears on the ground, and you're going to go find the normal version of your head, whatever version it is. I'm using Canis by Cerberus, so I am going to click on the Canis Bento Head version 2.7, but 6 months from now it might be 11.3. Just click on whatever looks like this. Click Add. And then essentially your avatar is going to look like this. It is going to look like straight Nightmare Fuel. Her hands are clipping through her butt. You can use the eyes that come with the head. I don't like the eyes that come with the head. I like more customization. I use Delightful Vibrant Eyes by Whisk. Although recently I learned how to use human eye textures on furry eyes and parts, and that will be a tutorial that I will be eventually putting up. But essentially, once you get your head on and you look at it and it's all nightmare fuel looking, you're going to do two things. First thing you're going to do, or I do, is I put the neck fix on. I will forget to do it if I don't, so I just go ahead and do it. And then what I do is I start working on the textures for the ears. And then essentially, once the neck fix is on, what I do is I will put my skin on. And then I take the ears, I go all the way up to my Canis folder. The ears that we just modded will be right there. I put them on. And so now I still look like Nightmare Fuel, but I look more like furry Nightmare Fuel now. Now I just look like an eyeless doll. But a furry eyeless doll nonetheless. So essentially, once I'm done doing this, it is now time to work on the tail. The tail is like the easiest frickin' thing in the book. I promise you. There are two ways to handle your tail situation. You can either use the tail that comes with the mod. The tail that comes with the mod is okay. The same goes for the ears, but I am very particular. So I like using the Vixen stuff. So you take your tail, if you're using one of the many tails that you can customize with these mods, you res it on the ground, and what you do is you find your texture in here. I am using the Vixen tail, so I am using the tail for the Vixen, and you just start dragging your texture over. Take the tail, add the tail, add the animation HUD, take off the pose standing, and pretty much at this point, now you're just customizing the mod to fit your version of things, and it is pretty much done. So at this point, you're just going to be watching me put together an avatar the way I would normally do it. So normally for me, I take a little bit of a shortcut. I'm going to just go ahead and add that. Which that includes the eyes. Like I said, I don't like using the eyes from Canis. I like using the eyes from Whisk that are made for the Canis head because you can do more with them, as you can see. You can definitely see. Definitely see. So I'm just going to pick a set, throw them on. These are purple. They'll work. So essentially, that's pretty much it. At that point, you just start putting your avatar together. So, like, I normally go into my appearance and the stuff that I normally wear, I'll put on. Like, my tattoos, the eyebrows, any, like, baked on mesh stuff, like, stuff that makes my stuff look better, my physics. spankers. All of this stuff right here. Yeah, we'll do something about that. But basically, pretty much, after that, that's pretty much it. After that, you add your hair, you add your clothes, you add all of that, and you're pretty much done. Let's go ahead and not have her be bald and in her underwear. So basically, yeah, this is pretty much it. Um, and by the time you're done with all of that, you have a finished furry Abby. I'm probably not going to save that one because that would be like my second copy of it, and I don't tend to do that. But basically, pretty much, that's how you do it. It's very, very simple, very, very easy stuff. And almost every single mod is pretty much framed the exact same way. Essentially, pretty much, I am planning to make some tutorials on some aspects of baked on mesh, like again using human baked on mesh eye textures on furries. I'm planning to do some tutorials with appliers, again, because they can be aggravating, especially if you don't know what you're doing. And just basically that's the plan. I hope this helped. If I want to say if you need help, reach out, but chances are I'm going to probably be just about as lost as you are. And I will catch you guys on the flip side. Peace.